Okay, fellas, I'm going to be continuing some of these chit-chat videos for the present. We're gonna talk about a few things in this one. I might do another one this morning because I generally like to take the mornings for these videos. Just do them in the morning, and then just get to whatever I got going on around the house. Because when you have an old house, you have a lot of things to do. So a couple videos back, I talked about this map case. I had a local store order this for me because I don't do any internet buying myself. I just pay cash. And so anyway, I had them order this map case from me from Ranger Joe's because I thought that they would have a good one. I needed another one. I showed you guys that one in the video there. You know, I've had some maps in the past. I spray them with the special spray that, you know, is supposed to waterproof them, and I've had plastic maps. Be nice if you could, you know, get some custom plastic maps. I do have an MGRS custom map in this case that I had made. You know, that way I could discuss grid coordinates with people if they want to talk about grid coordinates. Well, we will be talking about grid coordinates here on the channel when I get to that Land Nav Plus. Okay, there's a lot of land navigation videos on YouTube, but I've been around for donkey's years, and I have done land navigation in different environments, and I have some, you know, different things to discuss that you may or may not have seen. I'm not saying I know everything. I don't. I mean, there may be some things out there that somebody else knows. If they want to share with me, they're more than welcome. But yeah. But getting back to this map case, I took I took a soldering iron, and I took the flat side of that soldering iron. Actually, it's not a soldering iron; it's a wood burner. Same thing, different tip, right? So, took the flat side of that wood burner, and I just melted all of the hooks on this Velcro piece here, because it's sewn in there really good. I'm not going to go to the trouble of trying to take all that nice sewing out and try to get it back together how it is now. I'd forget it. I mean, it's in there. So I melted down all the hooks on there, so now it doesn't catch, but you know, there's still some remnants there. You know, you can hear it. But I'm going to cover that. So I've got this olive green 1-inch wide webbing, and I'm going to make a loop on this end, and I'm going to sew it there, and then I'm going to bring it all the way across and do a loop on that side, also have it tucked underneath. But and then I'll just sew that down with a couple of passes on the top. But I'm also going to I'm gonna sew it to this webbing so that I don't have to try to sew through this webbing plus all these layers here. But I'm going to put a strap with a buckle so that I could just buckle that shut. Or I may or may not put a buckle up. You know, it's not that critical, right? But what I am going to do is I'll probably take that cord out of there. And I'll make a loop with a bit of this webbing and sew it to the middle right there. Okay, of course I'm just trying to handle this, you know, in the air, but it'll be much nicer when I actually, well, there it went. Anyway, there'll be a loop of webbing right there. That way I can, you know, I can open it up and I have that tied off to me with a cord somewhere. And then when I'm done, just wrap it up, stick it back in my jacket, right? So keep in mind that is not a waterproof case. It's not like one of these granola store products like the Seal Line bags. The Seal Line bags, I've heard those are waterproof, but you know, they're just a big clear reflector, and they got a lot of black on them. I'm not big on a whole lot of black when you're trying to stay camouflaged, because black stands out. Black is good to add for shadow effect, kind of like a tiger stripe camouflage, right? But it's not, I mean, it stands out. Even at night, black stands out, okay? Just keep that in mind. What else do I got going on here? So, dealing with that map case, I want to get that sorted. So you could, by the way, you could put your map inside of a lock sack, which is like a heavy duty Ziploc bag, and then stick that inside of your map case, you know. That'll waterproof it. So over here on my board, on my whiteboard, I want to wrap up the Get Home Alive stuff, okay? I want to do that. And then I want to do the Minuteman kit videos, okay? That'll be, you know, putting together yourself some stuff in case you need to be a Minuteman, right? That's what they used to call militia guys who work their farm by day, and something happened, everybody shows up to the party, you know what I mean? So, and then I want to do some of these land navigation videos. Land navigation is a vast subject, and I want to try to make it very focused. Some people don't get land navigation. Some people overcomplicate land navigation, and some people try to oversimplify land navigation. So, you know, we'll talk about land navigation. I have a lot of experience navigating over land, and see, there's two types of people. There's two types of people. There's the person who picks the easiest route possible and thinks about the person carrying the heaviest load in his group of people. You know, let's put it that way. And then there's the type of person who's the navigator, and he's not thinking of anybody else. He's just thinking of getting from point A to point B, and he's not thinking about the route, the difficulty of the route, the terrain, and so on. And that's the kind of person you really don't want to be your navigator. Me, I was always a little bit slower, but everybody was less tired at the end because I would choose the route that made the most sense. You know, it's especially if you're carrying heavy loads. You know, you're going somewhere. The terrain is rough anyway. Excuse me. You don't want to choose the worst route. You want to choose the best route. You also have to take into consideration the terrain, obviously. You get into some really rough terrain like jungle, and you don't want to really fight the jungle. You don't want to fight the jungle. You want to try to work with the jungle as best you can. There's other navigational issues that we will not have here in the United States, but you will have in places where it's desert. You know, there's nothing. So that's why GPS and stuff became so popular in the Middle East. It's because they rely on encrypted, you know, being able to use encrypted signals and things like that. Your average GPS, you know, you want to be minimal with that in the Middle East, and some places they say, oh, you can't use your own personal one. You got to use this one, right? So you use a special GPS, which will operate with encrypted signals. Anyway, that's far beyond our discussion here. Our discussion, you know, in your own country, you're not going to be worried about any of that stuff, but you still want to keep your GPS to a minimum. You need to learn how to use a map and compass. Map first, right? Map first. You can learn to use a map first, and then you learn how to use the compass, and then you learn how to use those two together, and then you want to learn how to supplement map and compass with the GPS. Okay, there's an old GPS over here, right? Not sure this one works because I had a situation, the batteries exploded in it, and then I tried to clean it out, and then it would turn on, but it wouldn't turn on right after that. Anyway, so I'll check it out in a few weeks, see if it does anything, or see if it comes back to life. You know, yeah. So we got about another minute left, but so we'll talk when we do the land navigation stuff. We'll talk about maps, but we'll talk about compasses. You want to have multiple compasses on you. We'll talk about GPS. We will talk about pace beads. There's 2 ways to use pace beads. And we will talk about estimating distances using some math. Okay? So, you know, math, right? So we will talk about that. Now I have to end this video. Come back in another one.